Now, I suppose I could have broken up all of these movies and, just review them all one by one. See, I learned something after watching the third one. They're all the same movie. They all have the same story. I mean, yeah, it's okay to have that same concept of having Autobots fighting the Decepticons and fighting for Earth. That's okay. But really, they're just the same thing. The Decepticons show up, they're attacking people, and then the human characters have to find out some kind of mystery, and they find out that the government apparently already knew about it, there's already been something revealed about it, and whatnot, and it ends with some giant battle and whatnot, and so forth. They're all the same. So, really, trying to break down all the stories in one is just a waste of time. So there are a couple big problems I see with these stories. For one thing, the pacing is absolutely terrible. And you know that I'm a stickler stickerson for pacing. I mean, most times I like when my movie's about 2 hours long. I do. If it's a little just under that, or even if it's like a animated movie and it's only like 90 minutes, that's okay. Because as long as you have good pacing and you can tell that story, it won't really bug you how long. It shouldn't bug you how long the movie is. These movies are about, I think first one's 2 hours and 20 minutes, the other one's 2 hours and 30 minutes, and the other one's about the same time. And they have by far some just terrible pacing. I really see that, especially in 2 and 3. Especially at the end, when they have their big epic battle scenes. Like in the second one, there was in Egypt. And the other one is when they're just in a city, the Autobots, Decepticons are fighting and all that stuff. But they just drag it out. I mean, you're just waiting for this thing to end, and they're not. It just keeps going on and on. It just keeps going on and on. I mean, especially in Dark of the Moon with that last fight. I mean, not the fight, just the climax. Anyway, with that, it was just like, sometimes you wondered what happened to the Autobots. What's going on with them? Because you're busy, they're busy, seeing the problems that are going on with Sam and all the other human characters, and maybe a couple Autobots. And now they're getting through the city with the Decepticons. It just felt like it took forever. It took them forever to get to that one point. And maybe it wouldn't be so bad, but if they could just break it up into different kind of scenes, like maybe we could see what the Autobots were doing, we could see what the humans were doing. That's okay. If you just did it correctly, it'd be fine. But no, these movies just have no idea what the hell pacing is, now do they? But one thing I definitely see in all of these stories, there is enough plot holes to sink a ship. I mean, really, you could come up with a drinking game with all the plot holes. See, if every time you see a plot hole, take a drink. You most likely will be dead by the time the movie's over. I mean, I've listed a few right now, but I don't even know if I've named them all. For one thing, the Allspark in the first one. That is just one giant plot hole. All the things it can do, how it can apparently rebuild some robots, but not others. How it can bring robots back to life and kill them. It's just one big conundrum. A smaller plot hole I see in the first one has to deal with one of the Decepticons called Barricade, who was the cop car. You see him driving down the freeway and he transforms, starts destroying things and stuff like that. But after that moment, I wondered to myself, where did he go? Because honestly, he didn't show up again. Not to my knowledge, at least. Did he blow up? Did he die? If you do know this, please tell me. Because I don't know. My guess says he saw a Burger King and just went right for it. That's a smaller plot hole. I'm not really going to, I won't go more into that. Another thing that I saw in 2 and 3 was how people just can't seem to figure out when something looks suspicious. Like when there's a humanoid robot who's in disguise. And even though you would think that they'd be good at, hiding, being, in disguise, because that's the whole concept between the Transformers, you would think they would be able to figure that out. But no! This humanoid robot was extremely suspicious. And when Bumblebee is trying to tell Sam something, clearly you must think of something. Something is wrong. But not in these movies. No. And in the third one, we have this watch that is an evil Decepticon watch that goes on to Sam. And it's supposed to be like a little spy thing so the Decepticons know what's going on. So they can find out the Autobots' plans. Well, yeah, that seems alright. You can see very subtle. You would think that would be alright. No, not with this, because this thing just likes to go, all crazy and like throwing Sam around and causing him so much pain, so they could torture him. But why would you do that when, first of all, you need to get the information from him and you don't want to be caught? Why would you make yourself blatant like that? You might as well have neon lights and a bullseye on the blasted thing. A bigger thing I see in all of these films is that why in the hell does the government seem to know about the Transformers? They look like in the first one, like, oh, it's a big surprise that they know about the Transformers that showed up. And you find out the government already knew. And you find out again that they already knew about secrets, that the Autobots were there even prior to the first movie. And then you find out in the third movie, you find out that the government, the entire space race was just a plan so they could discover that the Transformers had landed on the moon. And yet it's surprising in 2007? Really? Okay. The sad part is we're not even done yet with the plot holes. There's one more plot hole I want to talk about. It's a little recent because, it has to deal with Dark of the Moon as Decepticons' plan. Their plan was to use the space bridge so that they could bring all the Decepticon buddies who are actually on the moon and bring them down to Earth. Where do I begin? First and foremost, how did they get to the moon? How did they hide in there? And furthermore, they keep referencing that all of this, that the part of the Decepticons they were on the dark side of the moon. That's how they were, that's how they kept themselves hidden. That's how, all these years, that's how they were hidden. Yes. Wait, there's one problem. One problem I see. The moon rotates! What, did they keep constantly moving? Every time it shifts, all right, everyone, go, let's go. Really? Okay. Now, to its credit, Dark of the Moon, its story isn't horrific. I mean, it's bad, but it has its moments. For example, I really like the Transformers side of the story. Not because, it dealt with the robots, because it felt compelling. And actually, I would have gladly just accepted the military characters. They're part of the story. If they had a little more focus on them, rather than just being, military characters. But now they have split these things up into several plots and subplots and whatnot. Okay, so that covers story. Now let's jump to characters.